Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Destiny and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we're going to go ahead and start working with charts, and we're going to be using charts.js library to actually implement the charts feature on our platform, and we're going to be showing others using charts. So if you want to see more videos like this, do make sure to drop a like, consider subscribing, as it will really mean the world to me. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Now the first thing that you'd want to do is open up your browser, and you want to head over to chartsjs.org/docs/latest and just click on getting started over here. Now this is what we have. Now all we need to do is go ahead and use this over here to implement the charts feature. This is going to help you out very easy to follow if you take a close look at it over here. Now if you can't follow that, also you could actually check out my e-commerce. I'm simply going to open this up real quick. My e-commerce platform backend step-by-step logic. So I'm gonna get down here. So I'm just scrolled also all the way to the last part. That's the last thing that we've got over there. We have a lot of pages, so all this keeps loading up. So while that's loading up, okay, it's almost done, so let's just wait for it. Okay, yeah, this is it. So now if you follow this, you can see that the first thing it says we should do is add and create order and month code in our dashboard. This is the dashboard function. So how do we do that? Firstly, we're going to work with this cart order over here. You see this cart order, we're going to be reformatting our own cart order. So let's go ahead and start doing this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for the dashboard, this over here, customer dashboard, and I want to change a couple of things. Now for this orders, I'm going to change it. You could call it whatever you want, but now I want to call mine order lists, just like this. So I called it order list, and over here I want to change it also. I want to change the order list also down here. So you can see what we got is just orders. So I'm just gonna put order list, and this order list is what I want to use to loop through the template now because I changed it. Okay, so I'm gonna look for O in orders. Now this should be order lists. Okay, hopefully you understand what we are doing. Now if we refresh this, it should still work fine. If we come over to orders, we should still see all the orders looking great. Okay, so with all this now, the next thing that we're going to do is go ahead and create a chart over here. And from our e-commerce logic, you can see it said we should override this cart order. Now how do we override that? We need to create a new query over here, and I'm just going to call that one orders. Now what do I want to do? I simply want to say cart order dot objects. Then I'm simply going to use annotate. So we are not using filter, we are not using all of that. We want to use annotate. And firstly, we want to get months. So we're going to use extract months. And before we do this, there is a couple of libraries that we'd want to install. I'm just going to head all over to the top, and I'm going to say firstly I want to import calendar. So I'm going to be showing you guys what we'd use this to do. And also I want to say, I think that should be from Django.db.models. I want to .models.functions. I think I want to go ahead and import extract month. Okay, so extract month is going to help us to grab the month from whatever date field we are passing in. Don't worry, I'm going to show you guys how we do that and arrived at a solution to fix it. Okay, so .annotate. Now what I want to pass in there is the month, and for the month, what do I want to pass in? I want to pass in the extract month thing that I imported at the top. And after I've done this, what field do I want to extract the month from? I want to extract it from the order date. So I'm going to head back to the cart order, and you see this order date over here. That's the field I want to extract the months from. Now you could extract month, you could extract date, you could extract time from this order dates field, but just what I want is the month. Okay, so when I do this, then now I want to go ahead and get the values. So for months, definitely they're going to be values, so that's what we want to get over there. And we're going to simply pass in month over here. And after this, the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and annotate again, and this time around we want to count. So I'm simply gonna, I think for this one we should go ahead and pass in keyword count. That's what we're going to use. Now this count over here is going to be coming from Django.db.models. Hopefully we don't get something that we don't want. This is where it should come from. Okay, so I could even just put this down here because it's in the same place. Now after we've done that, let me head back here. So dot count, and what do we want to count? We simply want to count by the ID. Okay, so I'm gonna say count by ID. Don't worry, I'm gonna explain what's going on if you don't understand. Just keep following along. Now this is gonna help us create the chart. Now I'm gonna pass in month, and I'm also gonna pass in count. Okay, so now we're gonna be counting the months. That's pretty much what you want to do with this line. Firstly, over here, as you can see, we extracted the month from this field. Then we passed in this month's value into here, because that's what we're going to be using in our templates. And again, we annotated again, then we got count, and this time around we are counting by ID, and for the values, just like we did before, we passed in month and count. So when we've done these two things, now let's see if we come over here and pass in orders. So I'm just gonna copy those orders, and I'm gonna pass it in here. So pass it in there like that. And if we hop over to the dashboard, I'm just gonna search for the dashboard, and I'm gonna search for this hello destiny thing. Just down here, I'm gonna create a new div, and I want to give this one a class of mt4, just like that. And I'm gonna paste this order. So I'm gonna say p, and I'm just gonna paste this order so we can see what we have. So after we've done that, I'm just gonna refresh this now, and let's see. So seems nothing is showing up right now. Let's see, hopefully we are doing all this the right way. This is hello request.user. Let's refresh this and make sure that it's okay. Yeah, that's it. So we pass in orders over here. Now I'm gonna open up my views py and orders. Okay, this is the problem. I passed it in here instead of the context, so it should be in the context. Okay, so this like that, then over here should be this, and yeah, that should fix it. So now we should go ahead and run this again. We run the server again, everything is working fine. We refresh this. Now what do you notice? We got months, and we count whatever order that is related to it. So I just want you guys to understand everything that's going on. The months that we have over here is just 1 month, and it has 20 orders, which means, and this is the month of November, I think. Yeah, this is the month of November, and it has 20 orders related to it. So if I open up I'm gonna come over here to my admin, and I'm gonna open up my cart order. I just want you guys to understand everything that's going on. If you take a close look here, you're gonna see that this is 20 selected, and all this, if you take a close look, you're gonna see happened from 1st November up till yesterday, that was 6th November. I think today should be 7th here. So that's it. Now okay, how about I say I want to change this date? As you can see, we can't alter this date. So that's the thing, we can't alter this date. But how about I just want to get back here, I'm going to get to the cart order. I want to say auto add now should be false just for now, so I'm going to use my hand to alter those dates. So python manage.py make migrations, and hopefully that's going to work. Python manage.py migrate. Hopefully that's not going to throw any error. Perfect. Now I'm going to run the server again, and now if we refresh this, we should be able to alter this date ourselves, as you can see over here. So what I could do is open up this date and open this up. So instead of going November, I'm simply going to go over to the last month, which was October, and I'm going to say, let's say October 31st or something. That's when all this happened, and I'm going to go ahead and save this. Okay, so we saved it. Now as you can see, one is in October, one is in November. So we should get back here and refresh this. Okay guys, what do you notice? The month 10th, which is October, has 1 order. The month 11, which is November, has 19 orders. So hopefully you guys are beginning to understand everything that's going on. With this now, we can explain this code better and you'd understand. This over here was to pretty much get the months, and this over here was to pretty much count the orders. This over here was to count the orders. Then this was how we want them to look. As you can see, we have months and we have counts. So that's its month and count. That's gonna count the order, and that's gonna get the month date, and that's gonna, sorry, not the month date, like, you know, the month's number, and it's gonna get the order count. So guys, that's it. Hopefully you guys are beginning to understand everything that's going on. And to even make things even more clear for you, what I'm going to do is I'm going to also change up all this. So for this one, I want to say this should be in September, and I'm going to save this up. Let's see. Okay, it's still in November. I'm going to change this over here to September. So I should just go back to the last 2 previous ones. Okay, what I'm supposed to do is actually click on a date over there to initialize it. So let's say September 22nd, and I'm gonna save this. So that gets saved. Now we refresh, we should see 3 of this perfectly looking okay. Okay, so with all this now, we're gonna still change some things later, but let's keep working. So with all this now, the next thing that we're gonna do is go ahead and pass in the month. So I'm gonna say this month should be in an empty string, and also we want to get the total orders. So the total orders should also be, rather, this is not an empty string but an empty list, okay, or array. So if you take a close look here, you're gonna see that this is the total orders. This count over here is the total orders. This, for the month of September, it was 1 order. The month of October, it was 1 order. The month of November, it was 18 orders. Okay, as you can see, that's it. So instead of passing in count over here, we pass in this variable total orders and we assigned it to empty list. So you could call all this whatever you want. Now let's make use of this. I'm gonna go ahead and loop through all the orders. I'm gonna say for O in orders. Now what do I want to do? I'm simply looping through all the orders now. Take notes. So for O in orders, I'm gonna go ahead and append something to the month. So to this month over here, what I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna say month dot append, and after the append, it's a method. So you want to open up a parenthesis. Now I'm going to use calendar. So remember the calendar thing that we had. Now what this calendar thing is going to help us do, it's going to change this 9 over here to September. So it's not going to be 9 again, it's not going to be 10, but it's going to be October. Hopefully you understand. And not just the calendar thing, there is still a specific method in there that we are looking for, and the method is what? It's month underscore name. So it's going to get the month name. And what do we going to get the month name of? We want to get the month name of month, which is this one that we passed over here. Okay, so that's what we want to get the month name of. Hopefully you understand what's going on. Now there is a little problem over here. As you can see, this over here is giving an issue. Now what I could do is, you know what, I'm just gonna get rid of all this, and I'm gonna open this up. Now let's try doing this again. So this is gonna be month name. So I'm gonna say month name, and this should be in a list just like this. Now I want to pass in D, or rather this time, remember we looped through it by O. So I'm gonna say O, and I'm simply gonna pass in month over here. So whatever is it that you passed in here, A, B, C, or D, or E, whatever is it that you're looping through, or even I, make sure that that's what you pass in over here, or you're gonna get an error. Okay, so when we've done this, that's pretty much it. Now we also want to count the total orders. So I'm gonna say total orders dot append. I want to append something to it. Now what is that I want to append? I'm simply gonna say I, then I'm gonna pass in count. Okay, so we're counting each total orders and we append it to this. Hopefully you guys understand what's going on. Now after we've done this, there is a problem over here. Okay, I think when we refresh, that problem is gonna be gone. You know what, I'm just gonna break it from the server and I'm gonna run that again. So now all we need to do is go ahead and pass in the month and the total orders to the context. So over here, I'm gonna pass in, let's say the first one should be month, and this other one should be total orders. Okay, so with this now, let's try refreshing our page to see what we have. So we refreshed, and okay, nothing is still showing up. It still shows up the 9, 10, blah 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 10. Okay, and that's pretty much because if you take a close look at the dashboard, I'm going to open up my dashboard. There is a lot of tabs over here. I'm going to close this up. It's getting a little bit messy over here. So what I'm going to do is come over to my dashboard again, and you see we got this other thing over here, but this is not what we want. Now if we type month, then you should be able to see October, September, November, October. That's pretty cool, right? Now also if we type out total underscore orders, then we should see 1118. So as you can see, 1118. So this is looking pretty good, right? Now what we simply need to do is go ahead and represent these in a chart. So instead of just showing it up like this, September 1, October 1, November, now we don't want to do this, but I want to display it on a chart, and we're going to be using chart.js just like I said earlier. So what you want to do is copy this over here, just copy this chart.js thing, and in the dashboard, I'm going to paste it. You know what, I'm just going to comment this out and leave it for your reference, and I'm going to create a new div down here, but instead just paste what you copied. It's already got a div for you. So after pasting that in, that's pretty much what we want to do. Now let's just go ahead and change up a couple of things, then a couple of things over here, or add more things. Then we're gonna go ahead and start working with the charts. Okay, So firstly, I want to style this canvas a bit. I'm gonna say style, and let's give it a width. So let's just say we want to give it a width of 50 px. Okay, instead let's give it a height, because it's the height that usually gets affected. So I'm gonna say give it a height of 50 px. Okay, as you can see, this is what we have. Now this isn't gonna work because we need to also add the CDN. Now I'm gonna make sure to leave it for you guys over there in the CDN page, so you don't have to stress yourself about it. So now we copy that. We want to come over to base HTML, not base PY, but base HTML, and you want to paste what you copied at the top. So either at the top or at the bottom, anywhere is going to work. So after you've done that, we get back here, we refresh, and okay, this is how everything is looking now. So we need to go ahead and add in one more thing, and that's this script over here. So you just want to copy this. Okay, copy that, then you could get back to your dashboard. You know, you could do this at the bottom. You could do it at the bottom if you want. You could also do it anywhere. Here is going to work. So I'm just going to do it over here, so our code looks pretty much clean. And finally, we need to go ahead and initialize this. So I'm going to copy this config thing, and I'm going to paste it down here. Okay, so after doing that, hopefully you guys are still following along with everything that we're doing. So after doing all this now, I'm gonna refresh, and what do you notice? Boom, we got a chart looking pretty cool. But one thing that I'd like to do is just go ahead and change out the color, because I don't like the pink color. My color is green. So I'm gonna come over to the background color and get rid of all this that we got in there. So I'm gonna say 59, 183, 126. That's green color. So I'm gonna refresh, and okay, that's just for this. The borders also need to be the same color. So I'm gonna duplicate this, take out the border color, put it for one of this, get rid of this border color, refresh, and boom, there you go. But there is a lot of there's a different type of charts that you could use. You could use bar charts. This one is line charts. If we change that to bar and refresh this now, what do you notice? We got this good looking chart. If we change this to pie, what do you notice? We're gonna get another type of chart looking great, right? As you can see, this is how it looks. Now there is still a lot of charts that you could use. If you come over to chart.js over here and open this up, I'm simply gonna open this up. Now you can see that there is a lot of things you could play with. I'm just gonna scroll down. As you can see, there are different type of charts. You just check out the documentation. You could play with all this. You could animate charts. You could just do a whole lot of things. Okay, so check it out later at your free time. Now when we've done this, we need to go ahead and replace all this dummy data. Hopefully you guys know that this are dummy data. Now we need to go ahead and replace it with our real data. And I want to work with bar charts. You can work with whatever you want to. It's totally up to you guys. So now over here, how do we override all this data? So this label is what's holding the data, right? It's what's holding the months: January, February, March, April, May. So what we're gonna do is simply go ahead and pass in our own data in there. And what do we want to pass in? It's the months. So remember the months that we called, that was what was getting all this. Now I'm gonna pass in save over there. And when we refresh this, what do you notice? September, October, November, looking great. Okay, so we also need to go ahead and I think we need to go ahead and change up the let's see this data over here, because that's what's showing up over here and that's what's determining all this. So how do we change that up? I'm simply going to get rid of the data, and for this one I'm going to pass in the total orders. Remember when we called the total underscore orders, remember it went ahead and got 1118. So that's why I want to pass it in over here right now, and we should get back here and refresh. And what do you notice, guys? This is what we got, looking pretty cool, right? So as you can see, November we got 18, October we got 1, September we got 1. So what we could do is go ahead and change out this over here, change out the label. I'm just gonna say orders. So what we got was 18 orders. As you can see, it could say the orders over here, and it could say all that. So as you can see, that's looking pretty cool, right? I think we are pretty much done with it. Now there is a lot to this. Just play around with it. It's totally up to you. Now what I'm going to do finally is hop over to my dashboard, and I want to change out a couple of things for all these products. But I want to see something firstly. Okay, started from September, October, November. That's pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a couple more for September, split them out to October and all that. So for the other dates, now I'm just gonna add another one for September. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna pick out another one. I'm gonna add it for September also. That's me September. I've got 3 now, right? So I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna go back to September and I'm gonna put one over there. Great. Now I need to add a couple more for October. So we got 1 October. We got. I'm gonna pick out this November that we got over there, and I'm gonna change it to October 13th. I don't know, we could use that. So after we change that to October, now we got to October, we got 3 September, we got a lot of Novembers. Now I'm gonna change some more to October. I just want to make the charts look as real as possible so you guys could actually see that it's actually looking like a chart. So we got all this November. Now I want to add August, October, November. So before October is what? Yeah, August. So I'm gonna put my birthday, August 7th, and I'm gonna go ahead and save this. So with all this now, we got a couple more things. Now let's refresh this. So what do you notice, guys? This is our chart looking pretty cool. And okay, I don't want these two things to be the same, so I'm gonna add a couple more for October. I want October to be higher. So I'm gonna open up October, and now this one is totally up to you. I'm just playing around now. I'm actually done with whatever we're doing. I'm just playing around now. Hopefully you guys already know that. So I'm gonna open this up also, and let's add this to Mr. October, and I want to add, okay, yeah, I think that should be it. Now let's just refresh this. Okay, this is it, looking great. I guess that's gonna be it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and learned something new. If you did, do make sure to drop a like, and if you're having any issue, drop a comment in the comment section below. I'll do my possible best to help you out. And also, you want to get the templates to follow along with the tutorial, check out the link in the description below. They should point you to the right direction to get a template. And on to the next video. Mad love, peace out.